do, everyone? Kenny from the Basic Brit, back with the second half of session 3 for the Western Lands campaign. We're going to get straight into it. This is going to be a little bit of a shorter recap, but last we left off, the adventurers had just had a fight with a load of goblins. The young goblin Splug had just surrendered to them, and we're going to pick straight off there while they start to interrogate him.
While this conversation's going on, another member of the party pulls a key from one of the dead goblins that Splug says he has no idea what it's for. To this I know that as the DM, he is telling the truth. This is a key stolen from Fat Belly by one of the other goblins wanting to skim a little bit off the top for himself. After finding the secret door and the goblins, the party relays to me that they want to keep on checking for secret doors. They continue south in the corridor, and not another 60 feet later, they discover another secret door in the eastern wall that opens to reveal a stairway descending down into complete darkness. The second level Splug was on about. Splug noticeably reels at the thought of going down there, and the party decides maybe it's better to clear this level first. They close the door, mark it with chalk, and move on. At the very southern end of the corridor, they come across a heavy wooden door that appears to be locked. Mirren takes out his thieves' tools, but fails to open with his lockpick kit. As he's fiddling around with the lock, the residents of the room, a group of 5 strong-looking green-tusked creatures, orcs. The goblin told the truth. Decide to come out of the room and surprise the party. They're not overly aggressive at first and try to parley with the party, but negotiations break down as they take an instant dislike to the elf. Mirren decides to close his mouth and let the other parties continue with the diplomacy. But 2 of the other party members get increasingly more aggressive with their posture, drawing weapons, loading ammunition into slings and crossbows. The orcs think to hell with this, and combat breaks out. Once again, DM Kenny and his horrific roles come into play here. Combat breaks out and Trotek and Jarrett the fighter decimate the orcs. Mirren gets a couple of good arrows in, sling bullets from Liana and Bluebell go flying across the room, taking out and wounding orcs. My bad rolls strike again, and the party dispatch pretty much all of them. Orland takes a couple of out with his staff. Malik keeps a watchful eye on the rear, deciding it's best not to get into melee. The party takes a fairly sizable hoard of treasure from the dead bodies, but can't rest on their laurels just yet. As I roll a random encounter, and a scouting party of these small dog-like creatures hit them from behind and spring an ambush, throwing spears from the darkness. They miss Malik, but a couple of the other characters get hit. Now the party is starting to look a little bit worse for wear now that this is the 3rd encounter in a row. As the 2 parties exchange missiles and move into a close combat, a couple of stray bullets hit the wrong targets and Orlan is injured. Yep, this is the first time that my party experiences missiles that miss, and they actually end up doing more damage to Orlan than the kobolds do. A couple of fun role-playing moments came out of this between the players that was good to see, and it was a bit of a bonding moment for them. Luckily no one died because of it. They don't completely learn the lesson from this. It was a really fun encounter to play out with them.
After the encounter with the kobolds, the group start to think maybe it's time to take stock of the treasure that they've retrieved, the information that they've gathered, review their hit points as a side note, and decide now is a good time to head back to town, rest and resupply. They carefully retrace their steps back through the dungeon, the proven route. As they make their way back to the entrance, going back through the hall with the statue, the open room with 4 doors and a table in the centre, and back into the octagonal entrance chamber, they're ambushed by a group of 5 wandering sturges. These horrible bloodsuckers swoop down from the roof of the room, long, proboscis-type needle nose, leathery wings, and bat-like claws. The attack is fierce at first and catches the adventurers unawares. One of them attaches itself to Jarek. Finding a nook in his armour, it pierces through his skin and starts to drain him of his vitality. The fight is short but intense. The party gets the upper hand pretty quickly, as these creatures have low armour class and are intent on feeding, not flying away. Jarek just about escapes with his life after one round of blood loss drain. He's covered in gore and blood as Trotek carefully, in quotation marks, dissects the one attacking him with his battle axe. The entrance chamber, now a mess of blood, guts and trodden on wings, leaves a lasting impression in the party's minds that they made the right decision to head back to town. They make their way back up the stairs and into the daylight once more, slightly disheartened that they weren't able to explore further before needing to head back, but resolved in their will now that they know that they can survive encounters down in the Olde Islnd Fortress. Leanna the Bard plays a marching tune while they decide what to do with Splug. Before we end the session, the party agrees that half of the team will go back to town, stock up on whatever they need, and take a kind of shopping list from the rest of the party. Orlan and a couple of the others, including Bluebell, decide that they'll stay on the outskirts of town. They're pretty sure that they spotted a copse of trees that would keep them well hidden and out of the way of any prying eyes from some of the local guards, at least until Splug has some sort of disguise, says Bluebell. This could get interesting. And that is the session, guys. So that was the second half of session 3. A shorter video for you guys today, simply because I've just not had time to fully record and edit all of my session recaps. I've currently got a semi-serious injury to my right foot. I took a bad fall, ruptured some ligaments in my foot, so I'm just I got back from the hospital today. Actually, nothing broken, luckily. It's just making hobbling round a bit hard. But hopefully, while I'm sat round on my arse, I can get more videos knocked out for everyone. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if this sort of content floats your boat. There's definitely more coming. Got some good ideas from a recent poll that I ran. I say recent, it was a couple of weeks ago. And I wanted to leave this plug until the very end because I don't want it to look like I'm begging for anything. But on the flip side, I'm really enjoying doing YouTube, and I'm coming to potentially the last 6 or 7 years of my current career, and I want to start transitioning into doing stuff like this full time, making my hobbies a full time way to provide for my family. Lofty dreams, I know. I've only got 100 or so subscribers, which I am very grateful for. But if you like what I do and you really want to support the channel and help it grow, help me make more videos, but also want something in return for supporting the channel, please consider checking out the link in the description for I've set up an Etsy shop with some what I think are really cool understated designs, kind of in a streetwear style, t-shirts, sweaters, hoodies. Just check them out, and even if you don't buy anything, share it with your friends. Maybe they'll like it. Anything to help the channel grow, basically. Other than that, I really appreciate all of you watching. I really appreciate all the comments that I'm getting down below, and I can't wait to make more videos for you guys, and more importantly, to play more basic fantasy. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.